everybody, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through what will be a somewhat lower body focused mind-body connection. Oh my god. I love that I already forgot what class I was about to teach. I'm sorry. Wow, it's been a long year, hasn't it, y'all? So congratulations on taking a little space for yourself, calming down, being in the moment right now for today's class. It's just practice. It's not perfect. I hope you can join me for all 45 minutes. If you've only got 5 minutes, if you can't even step away from your desk, but you can enjoy this time to just breathe and be, please do. All right, so we're gonna start at 12:15. Let's start today in Sukhasana, an easy pose, any sort of seated position that you want. Fred's saying hi, so we're both really happy to see everyone. If you feel like you need some props, if you find that sitting in Sukhasana is uncomfortable, if it's hard to get those knees to slope down towards the floor, find a block or a rolled up towel or a rolled up or folded blanket or something that you can sit on to lift yourself up a little bit to start to open your hips. Gently make sure you have some water or just a nice little something. I'm drinking some peppermint tea because I don't know, today feels like a struggle, and whenever I'm riding that bus, my mom always would say, and she still does because knock on wood, she's still here, to wash your face and make yourself a cup of tea. So that's what I did right before class. Okay, 2 minutes to make your way to your mat. If you want to turn on some music or set some mood lights or turn the lights off, you know? Right, Fred? Right, you horribly nasty bird. Oh, Fred bit me really hard today. She bit me real hard, y'all. Oh my gosh. Which is also part of the reason we'll be enjoying a mostly floor-based class today. My finger is still a little bleeding. All right, I am freezing cold. I'm gonna find a sweatshirt. Great.
My Uncle Buddy dog, I love you so much. You're my favorite doggy. Yes, you are. I love you so much.
Little aromatherapy. All right, and it is 12:15. Yay! So coming down to the floor, remember option to gently lift yourself up, especially if you're having trouble getting those knees down. Cool. All right, and here we are. Bye, Uncle Buck, in Sukhasana, in easy pose. I'm just gonna bring this delightfully warm tea with me because it's nice. Cool. All right, so down here on the floor, you're working to get those knees to slope down towards the floor, just starting to find a little opening of the hips. Use that inhale to stretch through the crown of your head up to the ceiling above you. Use your exhale to relax your shoulders down away from your ears. We'll take the first couple of minutes here just coming into your breath, really working to slow your breath down as much as possible. Make your longer exhale than inhale. to naturally bring your heart rate down and promote feelings of calmness. Start to clear your mental desk. Anything that is not you being here right now, just breathing, or things that you just want to take notice that they're coming into your mind, do your best to just push them aside till later. Just practicing being in the moment. I don't know about you, but I'm really good about stressing about things. Oh man, I'm really good about it. And this is one of the only times that I find that I can be within the moment. For me, it takes a lot of specifically counting the length of my breath to turn off my stressful mental channel and to come into my relaxing mental channel. Take this time to just notice how your body is feeling today and know that whatever you are feeling is okay. Hopefully by the end of the class, you'll feel a little bit lighter, a little refreshed, a little more open, mentally, physically, emotionally. Remember that if your eyes are moving around the room, your mind is moving as well. So take the time, find one spot to focus your eyes in a nice soft gaze or close them. Everyone chill out. It's chill time. Cool. If you want to set an intention for class, now's a great time to set a personal intention. I'm still focusing on my little mini mantra, which is I love myself. I love my body just the way it is right now. I have that written on top of my mirror so that every time I walk past it, I remind myself to love me as I am within the moment. If you notice any particular discomforts or achy spots and you need to address them right now before we get started, hopefully we're going to address all of the stretches and whatnot that you need. But if you notice any real points of tension, feel free to find that stretch right now. Take the next 3 breaths to just do what feels good for you. And then let's meet back here in Sukhasana in the easy position of your choice. Beautiful. Ears stacked over shoulders, shoulders stacked over hips, starting to find that engagement of the belly. Once again, relaxing shoulders away from ears. Elbows can start to hang heavy down towards the floor. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, go ahead, tuck your chin down to your chest. Still work to squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other so your chest is open, your back is engaged, and once again, find that engagement of your abdominal core. Notice if you brought extra rounding into your back and just work to pull things in to find that stack. Take one more deep inhale, and on your exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Moving with your breath, inhale your chin back to center. And exhale your left ear to your left shoulder. Take the next couple of breaths as we're just warming up, keeping the motion within the frontal plane. If one side of the stretch feels particularly awesome or needed and you need to hang out for a little bit longer, please do. All right, now that you're a little bit more warm, if it feels good, feel free to take that full range of motion. Go around a couple times in one direction. Normal to hear some crunching and cracking. The next time your chin comes to your chest, take a moment with the pause. And then go ahead, change the direction, especially if you're going for that full range of motion. Keeping that breath nice and slow, working all the way down to your diaphragm. Once more, chin comes down to your chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other. Press your sit bones down to the floor or whatever you're sitting on. Suck that stomach in. Take a deep inhale. And lift your head up. Beautiful work. Let's inhale both of our arms up overhead. And exhale, relax them down by your side. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale up overhead. Exhale down by your side. Once more, full range of motion, up and down. Exhale down. And we're going to inhale all the way up. Moving a little bit on the right and left sides. Keep that left hand up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, stretch up, and exhale your right hand, fingertips down to the floor. Maybe if you're sitting all the way on the floor, you even bring that forearm down. Inhale, reach all the way back up, and exhale down to the opposite side. Now you can keep stretching your opposite hand either straight up towards the ceiling, inhale, lift, exhale, or find a little extra side stretch, reaching over to the side here as well. Inhale up. Feel free to move at your own pace right here within your own breath. We're going to go ahead and go for 1 more on each side. Just making sure you finish on the opposite side that you started with. So I'm going to get 1 more over here on the right. Bringing in 1 more over here, on the left. Then inhale both arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to exhale to the right side into a twist. Bringing those arms down, right hand comes behind us, left hand comes in front. Inhale back up through center. Exhale down and twist. Nice little gentle twist, inhaling up. Once again, just moving with your breath. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. 1 more time each side. Just flowing through gently. Go ahead, inhale both of those arms up. Bring those hands palms together and exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Press those palms towards each other. Can you bring your elbows in line with your hands palms? Really feeling that back warm up. Beautiful work. Go ahead, bring your elbows towards the floor. Bring your thumb to your drishti, your third eye, that space between your 2 eyebrows. Begin stretching your elbows forward, finding some rounding of that upper back, a little caving of the stomach. We're going to inhale, stretch our elbows all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open them nice and wide. Trace your fingers off of your eyebrows and then down to your shoulders. Beautiful. From here, let's make some shoulder circles. So elbows down towards the floor, finding that little bit of a rounding in your back like you just did. Inhale, bring those elbows up. Exhale, bring them behind you and down. Inhale up. Can you bring those elbows to even kiss towards each other? A little more opening of that back. Exhale down. Moving within your own breath. Let's go for 3 more times around. As much of a range of motion as you can find today. 1 more time in this direction. And when those elbows come down towards the floor, we're going to change the direction. So this time, inhaling back, opening up that chest, elbows draw behind you, shoulder blades squeeze. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back, open that chest, squeeze shoulders up. Exhale, elbows towards each other and forward. 3 more times. Starting to warm that back up as well. One more time. This time as those elbows come towards the floor, release your fingers from your hand. Go ahead, bring those hands to the floor. We're gonna take a little bit of a forward fold here. I'm gonna lift myself up off of my block. Find some grounding with the sit bones to the floor, and I'm gonna turn sideways so we can really talk about finding that nice flat back. All right, so before I even release myself down towards the floor, I'm opening up my chest, squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other, pulling my belly in to find some contraction of my abdominal core, which is going to help me find some stability in the back as well. Remember, you don't have to have your legs quite as crossed as I am. If it feels better for you to even kick those legs out nice and wide and start to find a stretch on the back of your legs, you are welcome to do so. We'll join you there in a minute. But maybe you're just going to bring your fingers to the floor with this openness of your chest and an engaged back. You're going to start to hinge forward. So especially if you're feeling any sort of lower back pain, taking this forward hinge, bringing that belly towards the thighs is going to help you feel relaxed and supported. What you want to avoid is just finding that rounding of that upper shoulders and sucking your stomach in more of a, I'm pulling my belly in so I look so trim, as opposed to I'm engaging my abdominal core so that I feel supported. So hinging forward from those hips, walking those hands forward, just coming forward enough that you still feel the grounding of your sit bones to the floor. I'm even pressing my hands into the floor to find a little extra engagement in my back. And let's go ahead and walk your hands as far over to the right as possible while still feeling that left sit bone on the floor. You can even place your left hand on top of the right, drawing your left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Ooh, I feel a little bit of trembling in my arms and my upper back. Just breathe through it. Just inhale in the awareness of the stretch, and it might be a little uncomfortable depending on how tight you're feeling today, and that's totally okay. We're going to use our breath. Exhale over to the other side. Take your time. Make sure you don't bring that rounding into your upper back, so we still have a nice flat back as we reach all the way over to the left. If it's within your range of motion, place one hand on top of the other. Draw your right shoulder forward, left shoulder back this time. Beautiful. And change. Walk yourself back to center. This time let's lift up and we'll go ahead, kick our legs out. Nice and wide as feels comfortable for you today. Remember, every day is different. Every day our bodies are different. What feels awesome today hopefully is attainable tomorrow, but it might not be. Maybe you needed to limit your range of motion, or maybe today's one of the beautiful days where you can push yourself a little bit more. So start flexing your toes back towards your face, toes and knees pointing up towards the ceiling, feeling a bit of a stretch on that inner thigh. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun finding some nice stretches for our legs today. All right, so start off once again, walking your hands forward. Option to come through with this nice active back and hang out right here. Still really working to flex your toes back to your face and knees pointing up. If it feels good for you, if your sit bones can still stay ground, you're welcome to come a little bit further forward. Try not to come super far forward and just round that back unless that's the stretch that your body really needs today. Ooh, the more that you make sure those toes are pointing up towards the ceiling as opposed to down towards the floor, the bigger stretch you're going to feel on that inner thigh. Let's once again walk our hands over to the right, left. Drawing that right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Come through center on your next breath and come over to the right. Left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Awesome. Go ahead, bring your hands behind you. Bring those legs together. take a moment, just bob your knees, windshield wipe your feet. And then go ahead and bend those knees. Beautiful. We'll do a little upright thread the needle. So keep your right foot on the floor. Inhale that left leg up. Cross it over your right. Walk your hands in a little bit closer. Bring that belly closer towards your thighs. Feel that big stretch along the outside of your right glute and hip. The closer that you walk yourself in, lift yourself up, the more you're going to feel the stretch on the outside of your lifted leg. If you need to feel it less, you can always walk back a little bit more and continue to just stretch through the knee until you find it. Change, so walk your hands back, uncross your legs, cross your right over your left, walk yourself in once again. I find it really comforting when I walk myself in to turn the direction of my fingers. So I have my fingers pointing to the wall behind me, which helps me find that big lift up of my chest and the engagement of those shoulders. Take one more big inhale here. And exhale, you can walk your hands back, both feet on the floor. Let's just windshield wipe those feet right and left. All right, so from here, we're gonna come into deer pose, a little 90-90. So let's start off with deer pose to the right side. Allow those knees to fall over to the right. Sit yourself up so that the sole of your right foot is touching your left thigh bicep, and your left foot, the thigh, the shin, and your top of the foot are all making nice 90-degree angles. You're going to work to exhale and relax and release your left glute back to the floor. You can experiment with folding this leg in a little bit more. I find it's a lot more comfortable to bring my leg in. It creates a little bit more of a stretch along the quad as well. So good. All right, we're gonna increase the stretch on the quad. So if you were out here at 90-90, see if you can walk that foot in just a little bit more. So pointing your toe behind you just a bit, you can bring your hands behind you. That's already gonna increase the stretch. And we're gonna extend our right leg forward. Taking a couple of breaths right here, exhaling that left glute towards the floor. Take one more deep inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to bring our left leg forward. This time bringing the sole of the foot to the right thigh bicep. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, forward fold. So I don't have my knees out super wide, and I'm squaring my body towards that right leg, trying to keep things nice and tight within your space. Go ahead, take one more nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, lift yourself up. We're gonna come into deer pose on the opposite side. So folding that right leg back, coming into your 90-90. Or you can already start to bring that right foot a little closer towards your glute. Use your breath. Oh, what a great stretch. How much can you keep that chest lifted right here, keeping that belly engaged? Awesome. From here, we're going to extend our left leg forward. It's okay if you need to shift your hips a little bit. If you are not feeling the stretch at all, already starting to take a forward hinge right here, it's going to bring more of a stretch along the back of your extended leg, a little bit more of a stretch, especially because I have my toes pointed behind me on the top of my ankle. But then again, this is my tight ankle. So remember, every day is different. Everybody's body is different. We're just honoring ourselves. Thankfully, it's practice and not perfect, and we can always come back tomorrow. Finding that forward hinge is just going to increase that stretch once more. Nice work and change. Bring your hands behind you, and we're going to take this right foot, bring the sole of the foot onto our left leg. Once again, take that little forward hinge. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. On your exhale, lift yourself up, extend both legs out in front of you. Fingers can plant behind you, windshield wiper, bob your knees. Let's go for a little staff pose, a little caterpillar, and then we're gonna get off of our butts. Okay, so for a staff pose, extending those legs in front of you. If you are feeling really tight on the back of your legs and your hamstrings, you might need to take this bend of your knees right here. But if not, stretch through your heels. Flex your toes back towards your face with your hands right here by your side. Lift that chest up. All right, we're gonna play with this a little before we come into caterpillar. So inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale your hands down to shoulder height. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, we're gonna hinge forward at the hips with a nice flat back. One more big inhale, and exhale, feel free to round down. Slowly roll it back up. 2 more times, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to shoulder height. Inhale, hinge forward at the hips. Enjoy your exhale. One more inhale. And if you'd like to gently round down. Last time, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to shoulder height. Take a big inhale, find that lift. Exhale, flat back, hinge forward. One more big inhale, and then exhale, round yourself down. And come into the best caterpillar that you can be today. Remember that forward hinge is going to keep that back feeling good. So you really are working to bring your chest forward of the knees. Just doing the best you can with the body you have today. Go ahead, take one more big inhale, maybe even grab hold of your feet. Ooh, increase the stretch on the back of your legs and take that exhale, draw yourself forward. And then slowly, gently, roll it up. Awesome, let's flip over. We're gonna come onto our knees. Oh, just gonna pull the pants up real high. All right, and we're gonna come into cat-cow. So hands, palms underneath of your shoulders, hips on top of knees. Feel free to just shake it out like we're a dog that just came in from the rain. Shake off any expectations or stress or feelings mentally, physically that are popping up that just don't honor your time right now. All right, now let's go for some traditional cat-cow. So moving nice and slow with your breath, tuck your chin to your chest, look towards your knees, towards your belly button. Press into those hands, palms, find a little extra rounding in that upper back. Belly button towards your spine. And then when you're ready, allowing that belly to sink down towards the floor, tracing a line with your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling, squeezing those shoulder blades together, pressing your knees into the floor, a little separation of the glutes, and change. Feel free to move in your own time with your breath, maybe hanging out a little bit longer. Just creating as much space and openness as you can. Oh, we're doing amazing. Awesome. Let's take a little bit of an active shoulder stretch and then we'll come down to the floor for a passive one. So tuck those toes under. Draw your belly in nice and tight. Press those hands, palms into the floor. Send your hips up to the ceiling. A little bit of down dog. Really press your belly towards those thighs. Feel free to take, so much sweatshirt. Feel free to take a really generous bend of your knees as well. And find your little warm up here, walking the dog. I like to press all the way up onto my toes, shift the weight forward. Still just getting up out of our chairs.
Maybe this is the first big stretching that you've done all day. Option to press up onto your toes and drop your hips from one side and your heels to the other. Shifting a little forwards and backwards. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead, release our knees towards the floor, send your hips back to your heels, and come into your first child's pose of the day. Walk your hands as far forward as feels comfortable for you. Option to tent those fingers. Find a little bit more of a stretch in your shoulders, activation of your upper body. Hello, Uncle Buck. Look, you're doing the same thing we are. If you need to, you can always bend your arms as generously as you need to, even walking them all the way back towards your heels. Hey, buddy. Beautiful. If your hands were all the way back, walk them back in front. We're going to walk them forward. Pull ourselves forward. Take a moment right here, either in a high cobra, or if you need to, bringing your forearms down towards the mat for a nice little mini cobra. And we're going to work between our cobra and going for child's pose just a couple times. So up into cobra, pressure onto your knees, send your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose, just opening up, waking up that back, bringing your pubic mound forward, lifting up, pressing into your hands, palms, little squeezy squeeze at the glutes, and then hips back towards your heels. Couple more times, move at your own pace with your own breath. Find what feels good for your body. What can your body do today? Last time in each direction, and then we'll meet in tabletop after your last child's pose. Yay! So come onto tabletop, walk things in just a little bit. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing if you need to look. All right, we're going to do some gate latch pose next. So with your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders, keep your right knee right where it is and extend that left leg out to the side. Plant your toe down, the ball of the foot, and then place your heel down behind it. So your heel is invisible behind your toe and everything's facing to the front of the room. You can keep your hands on the floor as you work to put some pressure in your pinky toe on the floor as well. And you can hang out right here. Sure can. If you want to increase the stretch a little bit more, if you're not feeling it enough on that inner thigh, you're going to walk your hands in, lift yourself up, inhale those arms up overhead. Bring your hands, palms together, and exhale, lean towards that leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lean towards that leg. One more time, if you hadn't joined us yet, come in right here. Find this big inhale and lift. Exhale, lean towards that leg. Come back through center once more time. Separate your hands. We're going to bring our right hand fingertips to the floor. Stack your left shoulder on top of the right, and then lift up that right leg. From here, we're just going to bend our knee, straighten our leg, bend, heel to glute, straighten. 3 more, bend, straighten, bend. Squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other, straighten. Last one, bend, straighten. Keep it hovering here for 3, 2, 1. Now tap it to the floor. Inhale, lift. Tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Lift it up. Last 2. Down. Up. Final 1. Down. Up. up and then bring it back down. Replant that toe on the floor. Ball of the foot, heel. Bring your left hand down to meet with your right. Walk everything back through to center. Just hang out here in this stretch one more time. I'm going to even bring my forearms down towards the mat to get a little deeper stretch. Stretch those hips towards the back of the room. And change. Bring your hands back underneath of you. Take that left foot, send it straight back behind you. Press the ball of the foot into the floor. Just one more stretch of that calf. We're just going to rock forwards and backwards. Awesome. Go ahead, bring that left leg in. Shake it out. Shake your little dog's tail. Hey, buddy, buddy. Plant your hands on the floor. Let's go ahead and send that right leg out to the side. Plant your big toe down, the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot on the floor. Take your time, use a couple breaths to work to apply some pressure on the pinky toe side. You can stay right here if this is the challenging stretch that feels good for you. If you want to bring more of a stretch to that upper body as well, we're going to walk our hands in, inhale our arms up overhead, palms together, making some Charlie's Angels fingers. Take a deep inhale, always find that length on your inhale, and exhale, reach towards your right leg. Inhale back up through center, exhale to the right. One more time, inhale to center, exhale to the right, inhale back up, start to separate those hands, bring your left hand fingertips to the floor, stack your right shoulder on top of the left and lift that left leg up, creating two straight lines or as straight as you can, one from your right hand fingertips down to the left and the other from those right toes through your head. Beautiful. Let's bend that leg. And straighten, heel to glute, bend, so really squeeze a little extra, straighten it out, 3 more, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, last one, bend, straighten, and then we're going to tap it to the floor and back up. So tap it down, squeeze your glute, lift it up, tap down, lift up, nice and slow, in control. Tap down, lift up, last 2, down, up, final one, down, up. Go ahead, plant that right toe down, bring your heel down, right hand fingertips meet with the left, walk it all the way back towards the front. Let's have some fun. Tuck your left toes under, lift it up, and then step that left foot forward. So we're in a nice wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to shake those hips out a little bit. You can either have your heels invisible behind your toes like we just did, which is perfect, especially if you're having any sort of lower nerve issues. If you have sciatica, you don't want to turn your toes in because that'll apply some extra pinching pressure, but if you don't have any lower nerve issues, you can always turn your toes in a little bit and heels out for a little bit of an extra stretch through those legs. If you're not feeling enough of a stretch, you can walk your hands in even more, maybe even walking your hands back through your legs. Still lots of weight in your heel. I have the balls of my feet down, but I can lift my toes up while still creating this nice big stretch. If you walked your hands behind you, walk them back to the front, heels invisible behind toes again. We're going to go for a Cossack squat. So we're going to squat all the way down to the left side. Take a bend in that left knee. We're going to lift that right heel up towards the ceiling. It's okay if your left heel gently came off the floor. And then let's switch opposite side. Turn your left toes up towards the ceiling. Switch. Switch. I have my hands on the floor to help support me with through this move one more time each side. And if you fall out, you know what you do? You just do your best to come right back in. Awesome. Let's plant both those feet onto the floor. You might want to heel toe your feet in a little bit closer towards each other. Go ahead, keep your right hand down on the floor. Inhale that left arm up towards the ceiling. Do your best to really stack one shoulder on top of the other, as if you were pressing your left shoulder towards the wall behind you. And the wall's going to stop you, your imaginary wall. It's going to stop you from your twist, so you're not overreaching over to that opposite side, but you're doing your best to really find that twist from your torso in your chest and find length up to the ceiling. Take one more deep inhale. Maybe you even feel an extra stretch on the inside of that right leg, and change. Left hand down to the floor. Inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. Oh, I see a spider. All right, find that imaginary wall behind you. So drawing that right shoulder up, left shoulder a little bit more towards the floor, and then resist the temptation to bring your right hand all the way back. Keep stretching that right hand fingertips up towards the ceiling. Find that extra stretch through your left side body. I'm sorry, I got a little confused between left and right there. And then change, bring your right hand back down towards the floor. Let's come into Malasana. So horse pose, so take a nice deep bend of the knees. We're gonna squat down into Malasana. Then we're gonna lift those hips back up. Just warming up to come into this big deep squat. Malasana, lift those hips up. Take that big generous bend. All right, 2 more times, and then let's see if we can come down and hang out in this squat. Last time down. If you need to keep your hands down on the floor, you're welcome to keep your hands down on the floor for some support. If you can transfer your elbows to the inside of your thighs and bring your hands palms together. If you can relax your heels on the floor. One of my favorite things to do here in Malasana is actually just shift my weight a little right and left. Ooh. Crack, crack, crunch. I like to draw one knee forward and then the other. If that feels good for you, go for it. If you would rather stay static, that's an option as well. We'll take one more shift to each side if you're moving with me. Sorry, Uncle Buck is really crying in the background. Awesome. We'll bring those hands back down towards the floor. Keep those hips low. Transfer your hands to your thighs. Drop that left shoulder forward. Beautiful. Drop your right shoulder forward. Pull both shoulder blades together, belly hangs down to the floor, and slowly, gently roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Oh, beautiful. Heel toe those feet in closer together. Take a moment just standing here with mountain pose. Beautiful. One forward fold coming your way. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. So belly in nice and tight as you hinge forward. Take a nice little half lift. Exhale back into that forward fold. One more big stretch along the back of those legs. This is basically like a standing caterpillar. So really work to find that belly towards your thighs, that flat back, instead of that big rounding belly away from your thighs. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. If your hands don't touch the floor, that's okay. You can always grab your opposite elbow. So a little bit of a dangle right here. And then we're gonna lower ourselves down to the floor, because believe it or not, it's already time for Savasana. I know, that went so fast. All right, so take your time, shift back to your seat, kick your legs out in front of you, and slowly, gently lay down on the floor, coming into Savasana. Oh, yes. Arm relaxed by your side, heels touch, toes fall open. Feel free to close your eyes right now. Close your eyes and truly just come into the most stillness that you can find. Remember that Savasana is also a posture, so bring the same focus and meditative practice right here at the end that you brought for the previous 42 minutes of class. It's really normal as we slow down our movement for other thoughts and feelings to start to creep into your head. Do your best to focus on your breath, to allow the feelings that bubble up right now to be those of just warm fuzzies inside of the circulation in your body right now. Just giving yourself time to allow your freshly oxygenated blood, your moving meditation to flow one more time from your fingers all the way down to your toes, all the way back up to your brain. Just really soaking it in. Take this time to come back to whatever your intention was for today's class. Do that scan of your body from head to toe and just notice how you're feeling right now. Do you feel the same as when we started? Or do you feel different? Are you feeling good or better? Or do you feel a little worse? Was your practice what you hoped it would be today? Or did you maybe expect your body to do more? Sometimes the hardest part of yoga class is finding that balance between what you want to do, what you can do, what you need. Please know whatever it was that you were able to bring to your mat today is always enough. That practice makes practice. You can come and do yoga every day, wherever you are. Just taking a couple minutes to focus back in on your internal self, to slow down your breath, to find a little stretch, and just be. Know that your best is always enough. You're welcome to stay here in this final Savasana for as long as continues to honor you. We've enjoyed just over 3 minutes here together. If you have 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, the longer you can enjoy this stillness and rest, hopefully the more rejuvenated, the better you'll feel, the more focused and ready to attack and tend to everything on your agenda. If you would like to close up practice together, take your time, move with intention, come to a seated position. From there, bring your hands palms to the center of your chest. Just take a moment with your thumbs touching on your sternum. Come back to right now. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did or I said today, please reach out. Love to hear from you. In the meantime, as always, think those good thoughts. Eat good foods, do good deeds, speak good words, nourish yourself from the inside and out. Share your beautiful energy with others. Go ahead and bring your thumb to your third eye. Start to stretch your elbows up towards the ceiling. And may the light in me honor the light within you. Namaste.